And there we are. We are live. It is 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. It is Happy International Women's Day out there. So all you ladies out there, Happy Women's Day. I'm Ben, hanging out here with my good friend, Noodler Extraordinaire. I've heard him play surf rock. I've heard him play reggae. I've heard him play some country. I've heard him play some blues. I believe some rock. And oh yeah, a little bit of metal too. Mr. RJ Ronquillo, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Hello, everyone in YouTube land.
Oh, and I forgot, host of Coffee Time with RJ every Saturday morning.
That's right. Thank you for joining me yesterday, too.
Yes, that was awesome, as usual. It's become my ritual. It's the one day a week I actually set an alarm to make sure I'm awake in time.
I'm sorry it's so early.
I usually wake up right around that time, so it's like, yeah, I just don't want to miss it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's good being a morning person now. I used to never be a morning person.
Well, that's the life of a musician, right? We don't exactly work 9 to 5 hours.
No. Well, now I do, I guess.
Well, this is true. This is true. Let's see. Who do we have in the chat here? We have Mr. Paul Ewing. We have Layla's Guitar Daddy, Absolute Mayhem, who I was hanging out with all afternoon yesterday. More on that maybe later. Terry's GG&G, Bent Rossum, a.k.a. Tom Harhigh.
Oh, that's Tom?
That's Tom.
Oh, that's right. He got in. Well, he's got like a new. It's a work thing, right?
It's a work thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, he can't be known associating with people like us, so it's a work thing.
Totally get it.
We have Zach Thong. We have Troy Acorn, Dwight Bailey. Let's see here. They're all saying hey to each other. Scrolling down, Mr. Mark Taft, Chivalry 218, Jack Clark, Joe Hervey 84, Todd Flowers, Down and Back with Corn Doug, aka my cousin Doug, David Ennis, good to see you all. Vandy Man, winner of the Ben Coombs signature guitar on last week's Canucks with Guitar show.
All right, congrats, Vandy Man.
Yes. That was pretty wild. We did a giveaway, and we had a bunch of people ordering at the last day. You had to order a set of one of my pickups, and he won a custom-made guitar.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, my knees hurt. Mickey Studelmeyer, Dana, New Jersey, Pete Hickson, Jack the Rabbit, who will be coming on this channel next month.
Awesome.
Yeah, hell of a singer out of the Bay Area. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions for myself or RJ, ask away, tag myself or RJ, and we'll do our best to answer it. Talking about gigging and music, and I figure we'll touch on what was happening this past week down in Nashville and the outpouring of the YouTube community yesterday morning on your channel.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And I'm not sure if you saw, Rhett was on just earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I was at
a little bit.
I was watching most of the time, and when I jumped out of the chat, he had raised another 450 at least.
Great. That's awesome, man.
There's Mad Raj. Good to see you. Craig Tomlinson. Blackjack Guitar Nut. Nice. A lot of familiar names in here, I'm sure, RJ.
Yeah. It's good to see you guys again. It's like my weekends are spent with my YouTube friends.
That's right. Yeah. I agree. Awesome.
Oh, I see. There's a question here from Craig Tomlinson. How do I like my Delisle speaker selector? Why did you choose it over, say, an Ampete or Cahayan switch? So the Delisle speaker selector is like an amp switcher / speaker selector, but I just use it as an amp switcher. I chose it because the price was right. I think it's less than an Ampete and the Cahayan switch, which is what a lot of the pros are using. And I found the Delisle online, and it was cheap, fast shipping, and it works pretty good for what it does. So that's the reason why. Money.
Nice. Todd Flowers is asking, he says, Ben, ask RJ if I can have his Barney Kessel yet.
No.
Get in line.
I only own 2 Gibson guitars, and it's that one and then Les Paul 54 reissue. I don't even have like a real Les Paul, like dual humbucker Les Paul anymore.
Just a regular standard or even a custom.
Yeah, I used to have the custom, but I got rid of it. So now I only have like a P90 Les Paul and the Barney Kessel.
Right. Well, you've been getting a lot of work out of your nags. I think it covers a lot of that ground.
It's just a pleasure to play and to pick up. It's, you know, the guitars that I really like are the ones that like I like to grab just by looking at it, like the Novo or the Sen Strat and all that stuff.
Sure. I totally agree on that. There's my lovely sister Amanda joining us. Dale Palmer.
Hello, sister.
Brennan B. Squared. Good to see you guys. George Lackey, Bearded Blues Dude. A bunch of others have been popping in. Man, it's nice. We got 44 people already in here.
All right.
Knucklehead. Love it. Nice. And speaking of nags, 1 week from tonight, I believe it's we have nags artist Larry Mitchell coming on.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
Yep. Good player, good friend of the channel. Shout out Larry.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, I see a question there. Do you use your Delisle with an attenuator?
I don't. I know. So the model that I have, I can't remember the actual model number, but I believe it's 4 amps and 4 speaker options. And then there's also an option to plug in an attenuator that runs throughout the whole system. I don't use the attenuator with it just because I'm not really needing to turn down my amps because I go direct anyways through my computer to record. So I don't have my attenuators plugged in through that.
Makes sense to me. And Music Therapy Laz, hello, says he can't stick around, but he wanted to pop in and say hey.
Hey, Laz, good to see you again.
Yes. It was great hanging out with Laz during NAMM festivities.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get a pass to get in, but he showed up over at my buddy's place, JJ's place, on Sunday afternoon, and then he left Monday evening.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best part of the NAMM experience, the after show parties. Or
Yeah, both times I've been out there, I haven't made it for the last day on Sunday. We'd do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then usually the Sunday we'd go to the Orange County Guitar Show, but the other guys weren't feeling well that day, so Laz and I were texting. He was in town. I said, well, come on down. Just hang out here.
Most people on Sundays don't make it out. And if they do make it out, it's just it's like a ghost town almost. Or it's like a zombie movie.
He says crashing NAMM was a blast. Yes. Yeah. Do you have much experience with a Nashville tuned guitar?
BC Rich, there's a time when I was like in high school that I tried to make one of my acoustics Nashville tuned, and it was cool, but you really have to keep one guitar with those string gauges on it and keep it tuned. I forget who had one that I played. I want to say either Tim Pierce or the producer that we were working with had a Nashville guitar. So I forget what the deal is, but there's certain strings that are tuned up an octave higher. So it sounds really rich and sounds really cool, but you have to dedicate one guitar to that.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, super light strings too to get it tuned up that high.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, pedal room. Bearded Blues Dude. Mayhem say, when he was over yesterday, he was hanging out with my parents longer than he was with me at times. We went out, hit a couple guitar shops and a pawn shop, and I got rid of a couple of pedals yesterday, and then acquired a couple of pedals yesterday. And
I saw that.
And then we were like, he's like, oh, let's check out the new pedals. I'm like, okay. So I start noodling. He goes, oh, I'll be right back. I just got to use the washroom. I'm like, okay. And I'm noodling around. It's like 20 minutes goes by. I was like, man.
I saw you got that stereo phaser, and that reminded me that I actually had that pedal when I was a kid, and I'd never used it. But I remember having it because it was silver. It's silver with like red writing on it, right?
Yep.
I had it, and I never knew how to use it or something. Yeah, I had the exact one.
I find as soon as you get the regen up at all, it's way more of a flange than a phase.
Right.
But that's still cool. I haven't
Yeah.
tried it in stereo yet.
Stereo is cool.
And then I picked up something I've actually never owned.
Tube Screamer TS9. Wow. Have you plugged it in yet?
I have. I tagged the guy I got it from yesterday in a post on Facebook. I said, great, thanks. Now I like Tube Screamers. Now there's another rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah. They get better than that. I promise you.
Yeah, actually,
that's a good starting point, though, because
I was surprised. I had one, about a mid-80s one. I can't remember what series that would have been, but it seemed to have way less gain than this one. I was really surprised how much more gain this one had, and it wasn't as mid-humpy as I remember either. So I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. When I bought my first one in the 90s, one thing I didn't like was I couldn't use it with humbucker guitars just because, it's the output of a humbucker is so loud that I don't know how it works. Lawrence Petross is in the chat. Maybe he can tell us. But it was almost like I was getting a signal. I could hear like the dry signal of the humbuckers in my Les Paul, and I could hear the sort of overdriven side of the Tube Screamer. It was weird. I'm not sure how that exactly worked. But I could only use it with like single coil pickups.
Interesting. Hello to Eddie Van Haskell, and definitely hello to Lawrence as well. Wow. Bumped up to 62 people watching. Nice.
All right.
It's nice to see Lawrence may be temporarily caught up on tone building. Man, he has been working up a storm since NAMM.
I bet. That's good, though. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Speaking of which, your pedals should be shipping out in the next couple of weeks, should it not?
Yeah, well, I caught Zach from Mythos on his Instagram live this morning, and I think he had mentioned that the parts are coming in slowly but surely, but they are coming in.
Okay.
So hopefully it should be anytime in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I'm hoping to have one here myself. Actually.
Yeah. Yes, I hope. I told him if he needs help with anything to call me. I'll help build stuff. So you might not be getting the greatest quality pedals, depending on who built it.
Nice. Hey, Jason Wade, good to see you, man. Thank you, sir. Hey, there's Scotty from Pro Analog Devices.
Scotty is here.
Awesome.
Okay, Lawrence said with higher output, more clean comes through because the clippers keep a constant level. I don't know what a clipper is in a pedal, but
diode clipping.
Yeah. Okay.
My knees hurt. Say, what are the three effects on the pedal? Boost and
overdrive and echo.
Yes, which is preset to your settings.
It comes preset to my settings, but you can tweak it however you want.
Right. Which I was happy that it actually comes with your settings preset.
Yeah, that was kind of the goal. I mean, the goal, the initial idea was to not even have controls for delay time or repeat level. Just like, this is it. This is my echo sound.
Yep.
Like it or not. But he talked me into keeping it a little bit more flexible.
I figure, yeah, I can see like even the internal trim pots or something. He's like, no, he's got it. He's like, oh, you can reach it from the side. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's better than having internal trim pots, so you don't have to open up the thing. It's accessible. You just have to use a little screwdriver, which is included in the box. So
right, a special tone screwdriver.
That's right.
Exactly, Marsman. Sus Mariosep, that's a lot of effects in one. There's Brad Miller. Good to see you, man. Let's see here. Apparently, my knees hurt doesn't like boost pedals. See, I got into stacking boost pedals last year, and it's a lot of fun.
Boost pedals are an acquired taste. It's more like once you find one that actually is good or does something that, then that's when I started getting into boost pedals. Because a lot of times it was just like, oh, it's just a volume boost or whatever. But sometimes some boost pedals that I like have a little bit of character to them.
I can see that. My knees hurt says, is there any way that you can say Dorian is not minor? Well, I don't know because I only know the pentatonic scale. So,
Dorian is like half minor.
There we go. Oh, Kansas Sam Brokeback asked if you guys had to buy a modeling amp, Fender Mustang GT100 or the Marshall Code 50.
I don't know the Marshall Code 50, but the Mustang GT, I used to have like the smallest little Fender Mustang practice amp that you could actually run on batteries. And it was awesome. It was awesome until I blew out the speaker.
Well, there we are.
But
I think I've tried them both. I would probably go to the Fender of the two.
Yeah. Bent Rossum, are there any new or unknown guitarists you recommend checking out? Ooh, off the top of my head, German blues guitar player named Henrik Freischlader. That I don't know if a lot of people know about him, but I listen to him all the time. Who else? Unknown guitarists.
I'm going to go with British, now living in the LA area, Jake Fawn.
Oh, I don't know him.
He's currently touring with Dave Lee Roth as his rhythm player.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he does some mean chicken picking. Wow.
Yeah, I think I checked out his Instagram a couple days ago because my buddy Frankie did the Vegas run, and I think maybe he was subbing for is it Jake?
Jake, yeah.
Yeah. He was either subbing for Jake or Jake is doing the tour with Kiss and stuff, and Frankie just did the Vegas run.
And hello to Milt. Good to see you, man. Billy G. Lots of folks popping in. Awesome. Keep those questions. Oh, I did have a question from Rhett Shull. Rhett Shull had asked, RJ, what was your worst gig?
Oh, I was thinking about that today while I was folding laundry. I've never had a gig where I was totally disappointed in my playing or the band or anything. At least not that I can remember, but there were some rough gigs. There was any gig that's like below 40 degrees is the worst gig. And I've done many of those gigs.
Right.
Let's see. The first one I remember doing was on tour with Ricky Martin, and it was in Argentina outside, and it was so cold. It wasn't super cold, but it was raining. It was probably in the 40s, raining and windy, and I had to wear my normal stage clothes, which wasn't much.
Right.
So it was very, very cold. But after a while, like the adrenaline kicked in and I didn't really sense that I was cold.
Okay.
But, the first couple songs, it was unbearable. And then, when you do Nashville country music touring towards the end of the year, November, sometimes you still have gigs.
Mm-hmm.
And one gig that I did, the last gig I did with Thompson Square one year, it was in the panhandle of Florida, and it was in like November, maybe December. But you'd figure, Florida, it shouldn't be too bad around there that time.
Sure.
It was like 30 degrees. And that was probably the coldest gig I've ever had.
And I'm guessing you packed accordingly to thinking it wouldn't be 30 degrees.
No, I was prepared to the point that like we went to Home Depot before the show and got those hand warmer packets that you can stick in your pockets. That didn't help. I had fingerless gloves that I wear. They're not even fingerless gloves. They're like socks, and I cut off the ends.
Okay.
That didn't help. And that I remember I could not feel my fingers. And when you can't feel your fingers and you try to play guitar, for some reason it feels like it hurts more.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't tell if the string is slicing into your skin or something. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I would say that would be bad. Yeah, cold ones definitely.
Yeah, those are the worst gigs.
Yeah. I got offered a couple of times, do you want to play opening day at a ski hill? I was like, no. No.
Inside.
If you can ski, I don't want to be out there playing.
Exactly.
Guitar Man 45 says, try playing harpos in Detroit. Everything there is sticky. I've played a few sticky places myself.
Someone sent me the meme that's going around, like if you've been to the bathroom in this venue or this bar, then you're immune or whatever.
Right.
And someone sent me, if you've been to the bathroom in Harpo's, you're immune to the coronavirus or something.
Nice.
Craig is asking another question about the Delisle switch. Delisle indicates that unused amps should be in standby or off. Is there any issue switching live amps with the unit? With my unit, I think I can keep my amps on. They don't have to be on standby. I think it's probably just a precaution to keep your unused amps, if you can, on standby, just so they're not on for no reason and there's no signal passing through it. But I've had them on and it's been fine. I wouldn't do like a 3-hour gig with all of them on and no signal passing through them, but it's fine for me, I think.
Hey, Adam D, good to see you. Yeah, 81 people in here. Nice.
All right.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, keep those comments coming. And folks, if you did miss RJ's stream yesterday and do want to donate to the tornado relief effort, there is a link down below in the description. So there we are.
Yeah, thank you. We raised $840 yesterday.
Yeah, which was awesome. Just awesome. But fortunately, you're okay. Everybody that I know down there, myself, seem to be okay, so that's good. Unfortunately, there was some injuries and fatalities, but it could have been much worse.
Yeah, it's strange because I've never really been or experienced a tornado before, but I've experienced hurricanes, and hurricanes are more widespread. So you know, my thinking going into, after the hurricane was like, oh my God, it's going to be destruction everywhere. But, tornadoes are so concentrated that, it's like having a category 5, but only on one block. And then like two blocks over, it's totally fine.
Right.
So.
Nice. Let's see. Somebody was asking, Vandy Man was asking, RJ, working on any new music?
Very slowly. I'm basically just kind of coming up with riffs and ideas and just kind of doing scratch recordings of it. I could probably just take a lot of my demo gear music backing tracks and make songs out of it. I just haven't sifted through them yet.
Speaking of original music and I was just thinking, my father is rather critical of a lot of the music I listen to, being from a different generation.
Sure. How's your father?
So, he's doing well. He's 73 and still a curmudgeon at times and the love of my life at other times. So he got to witness RJ and the Del Guapos' Christina.
Oh, okay.
And he says, who's this guy? I said, oh, that's my friend RJ. He goes, he gets it.
Yeah, see?
That's it. He gets it.
Yeah.
So I did want to pass that along. Let's see here. That 20-watt Dumble amp sounded great, RJ. I'm interested in it, Scotty says.
Me too. I'm actually going to be demoing, hopefully, the entire line of the Amplified Nation stuff eventually. But I love that's an amp that I would totally keep, but I don't want to make my decision yet until I play all of the other ones. But it's definitely one of the best sounding clean platform amps.
Mm. Adam D really digs your playing style.
Thank you, Adam D.
Yes, I'd say you're a bit of a chameleon, which makes it very good for demoing different effects pedals and such.
Yeah, it's a little bit of it's fun to play different styles.
Yeah.
But it's very challenging to learn it the right way. You know, learn the different styles the right way without faking it too bad or being a poser or, you know, whatever. So I try to make it as authentic as I can by just studying up on the old stuff. I've had this conversation actually with Scotty from Pro Analog Devices. It's all about just like doing your research, knowing your shit, and making sure that you understand the music that you're playing. Ben Rossum, Tom, is asking, I'm waiting for the twin sister. I'm not sure if they started shipping them out yet or what, but
yeah, and I'd love to get a Friedman amp.
Yeah, they're killer amps and guitars.
Yeah. Are you going back to Gearfest this year?
I was just at Sweetwater this past weekend or last week, and my plan is yes, but I'm gonna play it by ear just because I can. You know, I can just drive in and drive out, so it's not like I have to book a plane ticket or anything. So we'll see. I might not decide until like the day before.
Sure. Hey, Fruitcake Tony.
That's a great name.
He's got an amazing pick collection.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any photos of it?
He's got YouTube videos up.
A pick collection?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go to the channel.
Scotty says, exactly. To have understanding is key to growth in all the aspects of our lives, not just musically. I can see that. He's got a collection of ex-wives. Chivalry 218. He says, RJ and Ben Coombs, hear me out. RJ and Ben equals Los Guapos Reloaded.
There you go.
I'd be more than happy to back up RJ at any time, folks. I'll say that right here publicly.
All right. I'll keep. You better keep your word. The padded pedal room. How did I enjoy going to 42 Gear Street? I think it was probably the coolest experience as a guitar YouTuber that I've ever had. It was awesome. It was my first time doing any kind of YouTube event, guitar YouTube event, and I didn't know what to expect, but everyone was super cool. I got a lot out of it, not just the videos, but the friendships and the contacts and everything. So I don't think I'll be doing it this year just because I have plans for some other trips. So I told Henning I don't think I can make it.
Fair enough. Matt Della Hunt, hello, welcome.
Hey,
Will
Matt.
you guys ever do a team up and do a song together?
How does that work? No, it's like we'd have to make a video or something.
We could do a video, send DAW files back and forth, and then the music video is basically us playing in a window like this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Any more RJ Signatures pedals coming? Scotty is asking.
Ooh. No, no plans. It's like, I don't know if I would. I don't know. You know, signature pedals seem kind of rare, or I don't know if it's like as exciting as a signature guitar or even an amp or something. I'm trying to think of like signature pedals that people have come out with. Obviously, there's like signature fuzz faces, which are, you know, have they have their little details and everything, but I don't know. I think for me to come out with another signature pedal, I would just have to get another sound that actually I do have an idea. So yeah, maybe.
Well, I say you did leave the door open for, say, your own personal overdrive because you used an existing overdrive circuit in your current pedal.
True. No, I'll text you, Scotty. I have an idea.
There we are. And he's mentioning the Dane and the D&M drive, sure. And Philly G Guitar Man says he wants a Ronquillo amp.
See, that's one thing that I don't even know what I would do for a signature amp. Just because
I think you would just take your pedal and then add a power section and a speaker.
That would be cool. Just put an echo and an overdrive inside of an amp. Nah, I don't know.
We're just spitballing here, folks.
Yeah, I'm trying to think that now. I'm like wondering.
Hello, Renus, Janice. Hello.
Sig amp need about 500K subs. Yeah, pretty much. A signature plug-in amp.
There we go. Well, a lot of guys are doing these signature Helix presets and stuff. So,
well, that's not me because I don't use those things, or I don't have experience with those things. Hey, Metalhead Hippie, there you go.
Hey, Metalhead Hippie.
Metalhead Hippie was so generous yesterday. He sent in 2 super chats.
It's about time you found someone to class this joint up. RJ, you the man. Ben, you owe me a nip pinch. All right, well, there you go, Metalhead Hippie.
There you go.
He is a character. And I will say thank you for supporting the NAMM Fund and the channel. As all the super chats go towards me getting back to Summer NAMM.
There you go.
Which I'm hoping this time to spend about a week in the Nashville area.
I think it's a good idea to experience it. You know,
exactly.
Different nights.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. And ideally, I wouldn't mind driving down, too, because that way if I pick up some gear, I'm not tied to shipping back.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you buy anything other than a pedal, you know, or something you would have to ship, probably it's cost you a tank's worth of gas just right there.
Well, in that case, you should make a longer trip and hang out in Chicago and Detroit and go to Sweetwater. You know, make a whole tour.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, I wish, you know, if Sweetwater was like the week before, it would be perfect. You know, because then you could just do one to the other. Yeah, but I think it's like a 3-week gap.
Yeah, is it really? Can't even remember when Gearfest is.
Hey, Quentin James, Philly G Guitar Man asks, any of you guys get down to Southern Ontario? I'm in Southern Ontario.
How southern are we talking about? Windsor? Are we talking Windsor?
I've lived in Windsor.
There you go. I mean, when I lived in Detroit, I would go to Windsor all the time and now and then take trips to Toronto. I think the last time I was in Toronto was 2 years ago.
That would have been with, oh, geez. I knew this, too. We had talked about it before. It's not terrible. Who were you playing with in Toronto last time?
That was the Stone Sour gig.
Oh, right. Rich Johnson says, hang out in Chicago. We'll go for some adult beverages. My treat.
There you go.
You know, I have been known to do that on occasion.
Chicago is a drinking town. When I lived there, it was dangerous. Like,
I don't know. Nashville seems like a bit of a drinking town too.
no, Chicago. Well, no, Chicago is just a bigger drinking town, just because I forget what the statistic is, but there's more bars per square meter than any other city in the United States or something.
I could see it.
But there's basically a place to drink on every single block in Chicago, whether it's a liquor store or a restaurant or a bar.
I just remember watching my NAMM vlog from when I was hanging out on Broadway, and I was like, I can't leave this up. This is terrible. And I was literally, you did your first Saturday show after NAMM, and I was saying, okay, when RJ's done, I'm just going to go delete the video. I can't have that up. It's just terrible. And then you're like, Ben, I saw the tour vlog. You did Broadway right. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, barely remembering my name by 3 p.m. Whew.
Scotty thinks I hate his Mark IV fuzz, but I got a video that I'm working on this week featuring some fuzz things that the Mark IV might be on, but I'll save it for later.
Ooh, a teaser, folks, a teaser. Which, if for some reason you haven't already subscribed to RJ's channel, there's a link down below as well. Please do. Yeah, that's true. My cousin Doug says, I have video of Ben doing Charlotte right also. Yeah.
You know how to do every single city right, Ben.
I try. Yes, California was a lot of fun too. And I think I lived it up more than everyone that was hanging with me, but everyone else got sick because Aaron was sick almost the whole time and JJ was sick on and off, and I was fine going on 4 hours sleep a night.
Yeah, I feel like NAMM was kind of the pre-coronavirus. I think everyone that got sick at NAMM probably got some strain of the coronavirus and didn't know that it was coronavirus,
right?
And we healed on our own and we're fine. Because I was in bad shape. That was probably the worst flu, cold, whatever you want to call it, that I've ever had.
I remember us talking about it during NAMM. Like that was like everyone's like, "Oh, don't go in the basement. That's where you'll catch coronavirus." And I was like, I spent all Saturday afternoon in the basement.
Oh yeah, I was. I mean, that's where my pedal was. That's where the
exactly.
Was. Like that's where all the cool stuff is.
Joe Hervey asks, RJ, thoughts on modern metal?
Modern metal. I went through a rabbit hole a couple months ago, and I was listening to like Tesseract and Polyphia and Periphery and all these. I guess those are modern metal bands. And guys like Jason Reeves Richardson and that whole circle. And I dig it, but I have to be in a certain mood to listen to it.
Nice.
But the technical aspect and some of the production of of that music I really dig.
David Muniz says he just got done a small gig. Awesome. Are you feeling the need to get back out on the road at all?
No, especially now. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I think I picked the right time to stop touring.
How about just some gigging in and around the Nashville area?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that. I've gotten asked to do gigs locally, and that's usually it's cool because it's with friends and the music's good or whatever. But
sure.
To leave the house overnight, it's just like, no.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Jason Wade asks, Ben and/or RJ, how long do you wait after getting a new guitar to take the plastic off the pick guards and such, if you do at all?
Oh, it's varied. Like I've bless you.
Thank
coronavirus. You. I've discovered some guitars that still had the plastic on it, like after like 3 years or something. So like sometimes I won't notice that the plastic is still on it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm the same way. Generally, it comes off the pickups because that usually interferes with the strings. But
yeah.
like Jackson I got last May still has the plastic on it. A Talent, which I bought used, still has plastic on it because the original owner didn't even take the plastic off.
Yeah, I mean, if there's obviously plastic on it or if it's bubbling up, then yeah, I'll just rip it all off. But sometimes I can't tell if the plastic's on it, and
right.
I just didn't even know it was there.
Adam D says I still got plastic on my tuners.
Wow.
Great Vanzini says never take it off. Bearded Blues Dude says take it off. So we have a variety of things.
I'm curious to hear what people in the chat think about buying used pedals and having the original case candy and,
that is a
manual and stickers. For me, I could care less if it came with the original box or whatever.
I would say it adds a small value. Like I'll pay, say, $5 more if it has the box, but I'm not going to pay twice as much because it has the box.
Oh, no.
Although I did lose a sale the other day because a guy's like, "Oh, you don't have the box?" I'm like, "No." Like, "Oh, I don't want it then." I'm like, "Fine."
I don't care if there's Velcro with dog hair on the bottom. If it's a good price and it's a pedal that I want, that's cool. But for me, all of my pedals, I'm saving the boxes because if I want to sell them later, then I'm going to need them.
Right.
But it's weird because I could care less about the boxes.
Yeah, I keep them just because it's easier to ship them out with a box.
Yeah, and I mean there are people that who, most of these people are not into the box. It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, I stay if the box stickers get used though.
Yeah, I sell pedals and all the case candies. Yeah, I feel like if you're selling pedals, then that's just something that's kind of the norm. Like if you want to get top dollar, you have to have the original box and all the case box candy or whatever.
I find no matter what company the pedal is that I sell to, that I just throw a Lawrence Petross design sticker in there too.
There you go. You know what I'm going to do is I'm saving all of my Sweetwater candy and just throwing like a piece of candy and all.
There we go. And I usually throw in a few guitar picks that I procured from NAMM events.
That's a good idea.
Everybody gets a premier guitar pick. Let's see here. Jason Wade says he only has one pedal, and that's the LPD Modern Classic, which is a great pedal.
It is. Metalhead Hippie. I'm not so much into industrial. I never got into Ministry when I was younger. But maybe I'll listen to some more now or hit me to some new bands that I should check out.
Oh, Brendan B. Squared says, well, Ben Coombs will be getting some goodies when the CBG gets here. That's right. I have a cigar box guitar due in this week from Brendan Butt Cheeks B. Squared.
Nice. That should be fun.
Yes. He says some butt cheeks picks and a sticker or two, which I could then pay forward because I'm still using my current butt cheeks pick.
Are there any other body part picks that he makes?
That's a good question. I have a few of different body. Well, Todd Flowers sent me one that just had the name Dick on it.
Okay.
So I was like, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Terry asks if you were ever into 9 Inch Nails.
Very like a really short period of time, probably in the sometime in the late 90s. Kind of after. Actually, no, you know what? I'm trying to remember. No, it was probably like mid 90s. So when 9 Inch Nails was really big, I think I was listening to them, but kind of, it was like when I first started going to college and everyone was listening to like Nine Inch Nails. I think Marilyn Manson had just come out, and I wasn't into it back then too much. I was more into Nine Inch Nails for the production of it, not so much any of the other stuff, guitar playing or singing or whatever.
Hello to Kirk and Original Paramutant jumped in here. Sean Zimmerman. Wow, Tim O. Wow, we got a bunch of people. We were up to 97 watching at one point. Wow.
All right.
Janice has to leave. See you, Janice. What's your favorite guitar for Ingwe style Neil classical shred? Lawrence asks.
Ooh, probably the. I mean, I've got a lot of Strats, but you know what? I'm gonna say the Charvel Jakey Lee does a really cool Ingve thing.
I love that guitar.
Yeah, and it's set up just right. I have nines, and it's tuned to E flat, and it just feels right.
Nice.
I can play that one.
Scotty's got to head out. See you, Scotty. Have a good one, man.
See you, Scotty. I'll text you.
PJ and the Beard. Hello. Knucklehead says, okay, so as a new player, aside from a tuner, what should I look for a first pedal?
Man, my first pedal was a DoD Supra Distortion, just because, and I didn't need the pedal. I just wanted a pedal because my amp had a distortion channel on it. It was the PV, whatever.
Rage?
Backstage 50.
Oh, okay.
Still,
so you weren't the guy lugging around the Rage like a lot of us were back in the day.
No. But I didn't need the distortion pedal. I just saw it in a magazine or musician's friend catalog. I'm like, oh, I want that. It sounds cool. And I need a pedal because people have pedals.
I would say an overdrive of some kind. I'd say.
Yeah, I would say an overdrive, but it really kind of depends on the amp that you're plugging into. Because if you buy like a Tube Screamer and you've got just like a solid state practice amp, it's not going to sound like the way a Tube Screamer should. So
this is true. This is true.
It kind of depends. If you have a decent tube amp, then get a really nice overdrive or whatever. If you just want a pedal to play around with knobs and effects, get something that does, reverb and delay or ambient stuff, because that can be a lot of fun, tweaking and just getting spacey sounds. Because I remember the first delay pedal I got was a DoD delay pedal, the blue one. And when I got it, I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Nice.
It was much cooler than the Super Distortion.
Hey, happy?
Around with.
Yeah. I definitely agree on that. Yeah, it depends on what kind of an amp you have. Yeah, my first dirt pedal was a DF2, the distortion feedbacker from Boss.
Oh. I don't think I didn't own a Boss pedal until college.
Those were my first, because that's what was available in this area. And man, they cost almost as much then as they do. It was like $200 Canadian for a Boss pedal in the late 80s, early 90s.
A lot.
Yeah. Lots of ideas. I'm going through a Laney TF300.
Is that solid state? Let's see. I don't know much about that. Laney TF.
Tube Fusion. Okay. Interesting.
Trying to look it up. Tube Fusion. So it's probably tube modeling type thing.
That's my guess.
It's got preamp tubes. I see. I mean, you could try an overdrive. I think it might work okay.
Yeah, that's one of those kind of best of both worlds, because you got a tube preamp, so you get the nice warmth and the solid state power amp to push it out.
Yeah, I think an overdrive pedal would work. So then you have to decide what kind of overdrive.
Lawrence is saying a boost for that one.
Okay.
Well, he would know.
Well, Lawrence has some really great boosts as well.
Absolute Mayhem asks, have I ever messed with one of those loop stations with your guitar like Dovidas? I can barely use my basic looper myself. So, no, I have not.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a hard thing to master, those, especially the big looping pedals.
Follow-up question. Has RJ ever messed with one of those loop stations with your guitar like Dovidas?
I had the Boss. I can't remember what it was. It might not even been a loop station pedal. Actually, it was. It was one of the 2-pedal Boss things. I can't remember which model it was, but it wasn't. It was like it wasn't red. I remember that. But before that, I think I was messing around with like the Line 6 delay pedal that had a looping feature on it.
Okay.
Really, back then, it was either the Line 6 or if you got one of those boomerang pedals. That was the only really options, I think, to do looping live.
Apparently, Timo is offering his wife to Lawrence for a night for some of his pedals. Okay. Thank you, Terry, for posting the links in here in the chat. Awesome.
Thank you, Terry.
Metalhead Hippie's asking, RJ, what guitar are you most proud of? Your show-off guitar.
Oh, definitely the Novo, which is not accessible because it's in the other room. But the Novo was designed to be a show-off guitar.
Yep. You're initially in awe of the color scheme, and then it's just, I remember we were talking about it that night. The more you sat and looked at it, more stuff pops out at you. Like, it's flashy from 20 feet away, but man, when you get right in front of it,
yeah,
you notice stuff.
Yeah, it's a looker.
Timo likes the metallic green guitar you have.
Which one? Metallic green. I've got a couple, actually.
Beside your couch.
This one? This one? The 7-string? Beside the couch. I think this is the one that you can see. This is cool because I think this is a color shift. So in some lights it looks gold, in some lights it looks green.
Ah. Well, he says it's awesome, so
yeah, it's cool. And it plays really well and it sounds really good.
Hello to Emma. Late night for Emma here. I saw 802 Blues jump in here. Nice. Knucklehead says he'll be right back. Speaking of which, Knucklehead, before you leave, if you look for a good boost pedal, check out Lawrence Petross on Reverb.
That's right. I think my favorite boost is the Anasazi boost that Lawrence does.
I was using was it the Chola boost?
Mm-hmm.
I used that on a gig I filled in on bass, and I used it to push an Ampeg amp.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. It sounded awesome.
Nice.
Dave Munez is asking how sales are going on the Sus Mariosa. I believe there is quite a few pre-orders already.
Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers now, but it was good. It was more than we expected, I believe.
William De Silva has the LPD Saguaro. That was my first LPD pedal.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Awesome.
Rhett's pedal Lark is cool. Yeah, that's an awesome pedal. I want that pedal. We're trading.
I believe I messaged Zach and I said, "What do you need to help promote RJ and Rhett's new pedals?" And I want both.
Yeah.
I believe that's what I had said right about a week or two after NAMM, or I might even told him at NAMM as well. And then he's like, "Once we're caught up, don't worry, yo," type thing. I was like, "Whatever you want to do, man."
Yeah, I think it's going to be getting some good reviews pretty soon.
Mayhem asks, "Do you own any Canadian guitars?"
Well, I've got a bunch of Eastwoods, and technically they're not made in Canada, but the company's in right outside of Toronto.
I believe in Brampton.
Is that what it is? I thought it was Guelph or something.
Oh, did he move to Guelph?
I think so.
Possibly. Yeah, I remember running into the president of Eastwood at NAMM there at the Revolta Novo booth. And he saw the shirt, of course, read the name of my YouTube show, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, where are you out of?" And I was like, "Outside of Toronto." And he's like, "Where?" I was like, "Well, you won't know." And then I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute. You're Canadian." Great. So then we had a whole talk about that. He's hung out down in this area before. I've been up to his area too, so.
Yeah. Trying to think of other Canadian guitar companies. I have a Larrivee acoustic.
There you go. Very nice.
That's a great story about that is I bought that in Nashville when I was in college so when I was in college, I came to Nashville during my spring break by myself to check out the city. This was back in the late 90s. And I kind of just, walked around and got a feel for it. And back then it was totally different than what it is now. And
sure,
I didn't like it, or I was kind of like, I don't know about this city. So I never moved here. But I did go to, I think I actually went to Corner Music and bought that guitar. And I still have it. And Corner Music is still around, albeit they switched to another location. But yeah. So I got to keep it because it's like my Nashville guitar.
There we are.
Definitely. I live in Nashville.
Hey, we got Aaron from Elvis Band showing up in the chat.
There he is.
So people are mentioning, Godins. They're Canadian.
Godin, yeah, I've never owned a Godin.
Seagull Acoustics are Canadian. They're owned by Godin.
Trying to think what else.
Who else? Prestige Guitars out of Vancouver. And then some people were mentioning some pedal companies like Diamond and Empress.
There's I've never tried those pedals. Solid Gold Effects is Canadian, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bunch of those.
Yep. Yeah. They're out of Ottawa, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
Rever Canadian. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. A lot of good Canadian companies.
We're trying. Dr. Scientist. Yeah, I think so. Union Tube and Transistor. Yeah. Those things are just crazy, though.
Yeah.
And yes, there was a guitar company called Signature Guitars. And yes, I do believe they were Canadian as well.
Was that like an 80s company?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think I remember. I vaguely remember. When I was in grade school or middle school, I took a trip to Toronto, and the first time I ever saw an Ibanez Gem when they first came out was at Steve's Music, and I remember I still have pictures of it. I took a picture of like a Gem on the wall, like, oh my god, that's the guitar and everything.
Right. Nice.
I can't remember. I don't think I got to play it, but I did play like a Satriani model or Radius or whatever it was called back then.
That's actually 2 Sunday nights in a row. Steve's Music's come up in conversation.
Man, that was
an institution back in the day.
Coming from where I lived in Detroit, we didn't really have the greatest music stores at the time. So when I went to Steve's in Toronto, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. They have all this other stuff that we didn't have. like
Right.
Jazz 3 guitar picks. couldn't find them at any store in Detroit at the time.
That's crazy. Philly G says last time he was in Buffalo, he bought himself a Gretsch.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Alex Lifeson played signature guitars late 80s, early 90s, Jeff T says. That does ring a bell.
I gotta look up what that signature looks like. It had like a hockey stick headstock, right?
I do believe. And welcome everybody is jumping in here. Man, getting new names jumping in all the time. It's great.
Yeah, I remember the ad for signature guitars.
The Pedal Room's asking if you've ever been to Montreal.
Yes, I love Montreal. I've been there a couple times. I was there with Stone Sour. Where did we play? Some small club, but it was awesome. And my friends have a guitar shop there, or a guitar building area.
Okay.
Island Instruments, and then Daddy Mojo. Those guys have a workspace, so I visited their shop.
Very cool.
Went out for ramen. It was great.
So did you have any poutine while you were in Montreal?
No. So I can't. I don't eat cheese.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
sometimes I'll have poutine, but I didn't have Montreal poutine.
Fair enough. Rich Solis, hello. He says, newcomer, hiya, enjoy listening to good talk. Well, welcome.
Hey, Rich.
Stuff, please like and subscribe. Signatures were like if you crossed an 80s Kramer Super Strat with a Sir.
Yeah, I saw the old ad with Alex Lifeson in it. I remember.
Speaking of which, you had mentioned on your show yesterday that you may need to get yourself another Floyd Rose-based guitar.
Yeah,
possibly?
it's something that I've been. It's been on the back of my mind because I don't really have I used to have like a Frankenstrat type thing that had a humbucker and a single coil and a Floyd type thing, and I got rid of it. And now the only Floyd guitar I have is the Ernie Ball Music Man, and I'm like, yeah, it's not really cutting it. I kind of want a real 80s, because I had demoed this RS Guitar Works Eddie Van Pepto model that's like pink with the single humbucker. I'm like,
right.
Man, I need something like this, but I probably need like two.
Well,
two
I was petitioning for you to get an EVH Frankie in the chat yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say maybe get something from the 5150 series, but they do some beautiful bursts now too. I keep thinking at Summer Name I played their blue burst one. So it was a flame maple top with a blue burst.
I used to have a PV Wolfgang, and that was like my favorite guitar. Great Floyd Rose guitar, great pickups, but I just couldn't get past the look of it. But most comfortable neck I've ever played.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Friedman is something that I'm looking at. Their guitars are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
What else have I played? The Fender HM was something that was on my list.
Right.
But I don't know.
Or if you can hold off till next year, I'm just thinking there's going to be a big relaunch of Kramer.
Oh yeah. My favorite Kramers were like the early Pacers before they did the hockey stick. I think it was before they did the hockey stick headstocks, where it was more like a Fender-y type of headstock.
Okay. Yep.
Trying to remember.
Yeah, they're very much like a Charvel nut, basically a Fender headstock.
Yeah. And it was either that it's funny. I only like certain headstocks of the Kramers. The hockey stick headstock, I can't do it. But when they started pointing them,
yeah, I was going to say I got the pointy headstock there.
Yeah, is that logo? That's the block logo. That's the same size. Yeah, like that era. You know, Richie Sambora. When they changed the logo to the big K going down small.
Right. Yeah, this is so that it's all the same size at least. So
yeah, that's what I like.
Hey, picked it up at Sweetwater Gear Fest.
Oh yeah.
Yep, in the used tent.
So that's that's a real 80s one.
Yep. 1986.
Nice.
We figured.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Lawrence had an 87 Beretta. Love that guitar. No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I look on Reverb just to see if there's any out there. But people were saying, yeah, a Sir.
Quentin James says, get a Tom Anderson. Drops money.
I've never owned a Tom Anderson.
Jason Wade says, get a San Dimas. Call it a day.
Oh, well, I do have that Jakey Lee.
Hey, 5 Block World. Good to see you, man. There's a great channel if you want to learn about history. Love the
yes.
he does.
Yeah, he does great videos. What was Wayne Charvel's? Wayne Charvel had a company. Wayne Guitars, that's what it was.
Yes.
I was looking at those back in the day too.
And I can't say officially, but there may be a relaunch of Gary Kramer doing something in the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Not that I've seen some prototypes or anything. I'm not saying anything, folks. You didn't hear that.
Lauren says you never see Berettas for sale. That's true.
It is true.
I might just make my own. Just kind of build it out of parts. And
I just picture you going up to Dennis Fado. You're like, I want to build a super strap. He's just, no, I don't build that.
No, he'll do it.
He'll probably charge you twice as much just for spite, though.
Oh, no. Wait till you see what comes out later this year.
Although it would be interesting with the
I'm not saying.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And I hope there is another Novo party this year. Just saying.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I'm tempted to go on warmoth.com and just start buying parts and building my Super Strat. Because really, that's all I want is just a Strat with a Floyd and a nice neck and nice pickups. Sure.
Well, I would say also check out friend of the channel FU Tone and his other company Boogie Bodies.
They do some stuff. I know FU Tone. I'll probably get my trim from FU Tone.
Of course. Shout out Adam Reaver. You don't have tone unless you have FU Tone.
You said Boogie Bodies?
Yeah, he owns Boogie Bodies as well.
That's been around for a while, right?
Yeah. That was, I didn't realize, but Adam, he had offered me my first NAM pass last winter. Mm-hmm. And so I thought I was going, as part of FU Tone. And I get my pass, and it was actually through Boogie Bodies. I'm like, well, this is just badass.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I'll probably just build something. I'll take it to Novo to paint it.
There we go. Lawrence is like, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you're thinking about it all night.
Tom Harhigh's like literally, he's just said, get the parts and take them to dentist to assemble.
Heck yeah. I can assemble it. I just can't really paint it.
See a metalhead hippie. Have a good one, man. Metalhead hippie was asking if you liked doom music and if you had a favorite fuzz.
I sort of like some doom. I mean, I don't know what's doom. Is that the same as
I would think that'd be a lot like stoner metal myself.
Yeah, that's what, like when people say doom, I think of just stoner heavy fuzz, basically like Sabbath influenced stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a playlist on Spotify with all that stuff.
Nice.
But were you asking what my favorite Doom bands are?
I think he was asking too, favorite fuzz.
I don't know.
There's so many fuzzes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just started following the Fuzzlord channel and
good channel
and his pedals and stuff. But I don't know. Is Caius Doom?
Yeah, I would say so. They kind of started that whole thing.
Yeah, I guess that's like the old.
I still listen to a
late,
lot of Fu Manchu.
90s. Yeah, Fu Manchu. Was Orange Goblin? Is that a band or something?
That rings a bell.
I don't remember.
I'm going down a YouTube rabbit hole tonight. I know it.
Yeah.
BC Rich says, weren't Kramer's ESP necks mated onto US-made bodies with Shaler hardware and Floyd Roses? Never heard of Godin shipping anything to Neptune. I heard Godin would bring some stuff through, but like their import line, that's basically built in the ESP factory, right alongside the ESPs, and they just put a Kramer name on it.
Interesting.
All right, Lawrence has to, he says, my 1 hour off for the day has expired. I must get back to the tone machines. Awesome, Lawrence. Have a good one. I'll talk to you likely tomorrow.
See you, Lawrence.
Ben Rossum says, RJ, you have not aged since the 90s. What is your secret? Love you, brother.
Oh, gosh. It's probably the filter that's on my camera.
He just keeps turning the brightness on his screen.
Yeah, you want to see it? Look at that. Let's keep it like that. Tom. I haven't seen Tom in probably since 1990. Gosh, 7-ish, wow. Maybe 96.
I actually had Tom here on the channel a few weeks ago.
I think I caught some of that. You had multiple people.
Yeah, Metalhead Hippie was on as well, I believe, that night. From what I remember, I don't know. I think I got into some moonshine that night, so
yeah.
The third hour got a little fuzzy.
Tom and I saw Steve Morse when we, like, the first week in college.
Nice. Hey, Barry Miller. Yeah, he says 97, 98. And Sean Zimmerman says you can get bodies pre-painted from Warmouth.
Yeah, you can get everything ready to go. All the necks drilled, with nuts and finished if you want.
And since they were good to me, I should give a shout out. You can check out Solo Guitars as well. A Canadian company that they do parts, complete guitar kits, right down to, and every step, like even painting in advance. The paint shop's still being built, but it'll be up and running in the next week or two. They just moved into a new facility, but they totally hooked me up. I went up there with Mayhem about a month ago, and they hooked me up with a dealer account and stuff. So
nice.
Yeah. That's right. How do I say that? Bethalco? I believe he said he's out of Ottawa. Yeah, Dave's working there. We went up, to Dave Riom's first day working up there. If you watch the repair channel, Dave's World of Fun Stuff, He works there 1 day a week. Great guy. And he'll be on the channel about a month from tonight. I think it's 4 weeks from tonight. He's coming on the channel.
Oh, cool. You had a lot of guests.
Ryan Burke the week after that.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Steve from Boston the week before it.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I know. I'm making the rounds.
Those guys are crazy.
Grievance, he's like, Tom's just not himself lately. Nice guy, Eddie. Hello. Emma. Yeah, gooched. Exactly. Craig Flowers. Hello. Excuse me. Barry Miller.
RJ, what is the riff of the week? Oh, I don't know. You mean the riff of this week? I haven't come up with one yet.
Terry's like, yep, Ben's bringing out the premium content now. Well, for next while, anyways. We'll try it. Thank you, Marsman. And expect, there'll be a few more dates filling in here and there. I think I'll be doing even some midweek daytime stuff with some of our European friends a little earlier in the day so they can join in on the fun.
Excellent.
But, well, you know how it is at NAMM. You run into everybody, and I think anybody that had previously come on the channel, they're like, hey, we got to do another hangout. I'm like, right, we do. And you're already into March, and I'm already booked into April. And it's like, all right, I got to do more than once a week.
Oh, you do it tomorrow too, right?
Yeah, and tomorrow I do it solo, and that's when I'll usually play some music as well as the Q&A. Sort of like yourself on Saturdays.
Gotcha. Craig Flowers is asking, what is the crazy guitar shape behind you hanging up? It has wings. Oh yeah, this one. The ugly bastard. It's this is the Hallmark Stradette. This one, probably. That's what you're talking about.
She's an interesting one.
Yeah. It sounds better than it looks.
Damn, I am happy. We need you guys staying happy. Think happy folk songs. We can do that. Thank you very much for the donation. I think I may pick up a bottle of wine.
Nice.
Looks like a stag beetle. I can see that, Emma. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely looks insect-like.
It's like I don't know, it's like a classical instrument mated with a Mosrite.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like a exactly. Like a violin.
There we go. Hey, Great Van Zee, Mosrite had a baby with a Hofner.
Pretty much, yeah. Like this part kind of looks like a Hofner bass.
Yeah.
But I think the original wasn't a Mosrite, but the guy that designed it did work with Semi Mosley at Mosrite before he left to make this or something. So it does have like a Mosrite style trem on it. And the neck feels like a Mosrite.
That's right. Craig Flowers, that's right. Great Van Zee does know his Get Fiddles. He's got some really cool videos up on his channel of his collection.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a lot of jazz boxes and some tellies and all kinds of stuff. Hey, Jay Steen, John Harden, Edwin Crane, Matthew Delahunt. All kinds of people going in here. All right, keep those questions coming. We're going to go for about another 10, 15 minutes here, folks.
Matt Delahunt, hello.
Kirk LeBlanc is asking, what is in your amp room? Nice collection. Okay. Fender Blues Deluxe, 1976 PV Classic, Fender FM 100 half stack, some cheap Canadian tube heads, likely Pepco made in the early 70s, 30-watt tube heads, a Sykes 2x15 cabinet, which is basically a Yorkville, a Greta head and 112 cab, which is part of the Fender Pawn Shop series, a solid state GBX bass driver head out of Winnipeg, I believe made by a Head, a Garnet 3x12 cabinet out of Winnipeg, a gutted Vox AC15, which is now just a 112 cab, a Vox Pathfinder, which has been converted to just a head, a Darius 112 solid state made as well by a Head out of Winnipeg, PV Viper 2nd gen, a B52 AT112 down at the bottom, and off camera, a Baldwin professional solid state 212, the same model that Mr. Willie Nelson's been using for the last 30, 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad's old gigging amp from back in the day.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so a lot of Canadian content here.
It's Canucks with guitars.
That's what we got to do. Jack the Rabbit's just like, my goodness, Ben. Yeah, a 312. The 312 that's like bigger than a 412 cab. At first, I thought it was a 612 when I saw it, but nope. 3.
Nice guy Eddie's asking about Nashville. Move to Nashville. Plan is for the wife and I to move to Nashville in the late summer, fall. Any areas to avoid? Well, I mean, once you do your research, you'll figure out what neighborhoods you like and what areas. I mean, there's really no places to avoid, but don't go for the cheapest thing, and just do your research.
Yep. I'd imagine like any other area in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of town that are, there's cool parts and there's bad parts, but every neighborhood has something cool about it, whether it's a restaurant or some kind of venue or something. So that's the cool thing about Nashville is, and one of the bad things about Nashville is that like there's something everywhere. It's not all kind of concentrated into one area. So you're ending up having to drive to certain other parts of town. And whereas other cities, you can just stay in one area and maybe like take a cab or a train around,
Sure.
It's kind of like LA where it's all spread out and you do a lot of driving.
Brendan has got to head out. He's got to get up at 5 a.m. for work. Have a good one, buddy. Can't wait to get that guitar and make some demos with it.
Nice.
Philly G says he's got to make his way down to Nashville one day. I fully agree. I've been thinking about that place since I visited it.
Nice. Was last year the first time you were here?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've been meaning to visit for a few years. And then, the excuse being NAMM last year. And then, of course, fell in love with it and want to spend more time down there this year.
Tom is asking when I'm getting a Tweed Bassman. I need to sell some stuff first.
Yeah.
59.
Everybody subscribe to RJ, watch all of his videos, including the ads.
That's right.
Have a good night, Knucklehead. You're more than welcome for suggestions on the boost pedals. And Pedal Room's got to head out as well. Tempest, hello. Has RJ tried Bolin guitars?
Mm-mm. Is that like Tommy Bolin guitars?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Tommy
Bolin, hell of a player.
Yeah.
John Harden says Uncle Doug just redid a nice basement. Okay.
I think Carter has, I think it's a 60 basement, but they're pretty expensive. They're like $9,000 or something.
Yeah, I saw you did a few videos for Carter's over the last little while. Some nice stuff.
I'm going to go back there hopefully soon and do some more.
That place haunts me.
Tell me about it. It's
yeah.
It's go there by yourself. Don't bring a friend or your wife or girlfriend because you're gonna want to stay there for a while.
I had Aaron with me, so it wasn't too bad.
Well, yeah, 2 guitar players here.
But then, I went into that front room and they had a 57 Telly, and that's the only year they did a V-neck on a Telly.
Oh wow!
And I grew up like the first 2 guitars I ever played were my dad's, which was a 67 Telly and a 71 Martin D28. So it's literally my first 2 guitars combined. It felt just like that Martin neck. And I went, literally once a week, that guitar haunts me to this day. And I'm just like, I need that guitar in my life.
Yeah.
I could take over the world with a 57 Telly, honest.
How much was it?
I think they were asking 26.
See, if I'm going to start buying vintage guitars, I'm going to stick with Fenders because they seem a little more, manageable, affordable.
John Bolin, Boise, Idaho, custom builder, makes all the Billy Gibbons stuff.
Okay. The Billy Gibbons stuff, like the furry guitars. I get one of those.
Yeah, they're cool. Joe Hervey says, I wish Vox got more interest in today's market. People seem to overlook Vox and their amps. They have a niche.
Well, I think he's saying that everyone's more concerned with like vintage Vox amps or, the certain 90s hand-wired Vox AC30s.
Right.
The newer, he's kind of right. I haven't heard anything about anything new coming out of Vox.
I would say so. Yeah, Craig Flower saying vintage Fenders are more open sounding. I wonder why. Wire gauge? No, I think it's just because they're just so dried out and cured, the wood.
Yeah, it's definitely something with the wood, because if you pick up a 57 Strat or 56 Strat, it's just like a lot of times it's way lighter than any Strat you'll pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And it just has it's breathing more or something.
Yeah, just very resonant. Tom's asking, do I have the vintage Tellys out tonight? The 71 is right there. And the 67, which is one he's probably interested in.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Tom.
Nice.
With the MGs, RJ. With the MGs.
I see that.
That's how you get rid of that 60 cycle hum when you got a twin cranked on stage, right?
Exactly.
'Twas a different time. Did Fender use up all the old growth wood like Gibson did? I don't know, Craig. Maybe the furniture makers did too, though.
Yeah, I can't even imagine if there's any old growth woods available that's affordable for these companies.
Yeah.
And I think the way people are curing wood now, it's getting the same feel and the same
result. Whether they call it tempered or baked or kiln dried or what have you.
Yeah, it gets it close enough.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that. Craig Flowers, Ben, have you seen my new Telly? I use it all the time now. I don't know if I have. I'll have to check that out. Torrified, yes, Emma. Another term, yep.
Torrified, tempered, roasted, baked, broiled.
And yeah, Craig, that's why a lot of people like the baked maple. I find it's lighter, more resonant, and less movement, especially with the necks. That's the nice thing about it. You're probably not going to see any fret sprout ever. And if you do, it's going to be so minimal.
Candied wood. There's so many terms you could use from cooking.
Exactly. Flambe. Sauteed.
Sous vide neck.
Here we are. Well, we've hit the bottom of the hour here. Do you have anything to add, my good man?
No, thank you. But I'll have a new video coming out tomorrow, Monday, as usual. So look out for that. But other than that, I don't have any news. I'm working on some videos this week with Brett Papa. I got a ton of pedal demos coming out very soon with a bunch of new things that I've got in the queue. And so expect more content from me this week in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. Always good to see. And definitely. And if I don't physically talk to you before Nashville. I'll definitely see you in person in Nashville. I think fortunately, the community here has been really good. As you know, I had some flooding happen here last week.
Yeah, saw that.
Kind of ate into the NAM budget, but we were able to raise some money here last week on here to help me get back to Nashville.
Yes, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
great community.
It is amazing community, and so I definitely, I want to thank you for coming on. Definitely, I enjoy your demos. I enjoyed your playing, and then as you started doing the live stream, I'm happy we become friends. And
thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, man, anytime. So definitely, and thanks everybody that tuned in tonight. We had a great crowd in here. I think we got close to 100 people watching a few times.
All right,
new names, which was awesome. So thanks each and every one of you that stepped in here and took some time out to watch some, ask a question, leave a thumbs up. And as I always say, folks, hold those doors open. Let that guy in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you. Karma's real. I'm living the dream. RJ's living the dream. I hope you are too. So until next time, which would be, approximately, 8 p.m. tomorrow, right back here with Custom Guitars. How about that? We'll see you then, folks. Have a great night and be good to each other.
See ya.